Episode 2 of Timeless Talks. In this episode, we're going to talk about college and further education in order to land the job you want and stuff like that. Before the video starts, please hit the subscribe button, like, and comment. Whatever topic you want us to talk about next, comment. It can be sports, it can be schooling, it can be
Finances,
anything. Yeah.
Music, whatever.
So we're gonna start off by going around and kind of giving our opinion on college and if it helps or not or what you should do. Denny, go ahead.
Me personally, if you do college right, it's worth it, but it's not necessary to further your living, so to say, or make a living. That's my opinion on it.
What I think is if you know you need college to do something in life, like you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, something that requires school 100%, I say do it. But don't conform to the societal norm and do it just because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Do it because you want to do it, because you want to land your future job. But if you want to be a damn MMA fighter or a damn if you want to be an MMA fighter, if you want to be a rapper, or you want to be
Professional athlete.
Yeah.
Something
that.
ambitious.
Yeah.
like chase your dreams. Don't think about
School.
what.
Yeah, I'm
school
like
shit.
that. Like I'm in the middle. Like you don't need it, but you also, if you want to do something like be a doctor or surgeon or something, you should strive to like further your education, meet those accolades, and do what's necessary to, I guess, get to that next stature that's gonna help you, prevail and be like, the next best surgeon, the next doctor, the next, whatever it is that requires that path. But you don't need it, essentially. I mean, I feel like people like just
People are put in by their by their
Pressured.
parents
Yeah.
and by
Yeah.
society in general
Yeah.
that you need school. You need this. I'm not saying fuck school. I'm never gonna say that. I mean, but I'm saying you don't need school if
I mean, there's
you
a
don't want
context
to.
where you can say that. Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck school.
fuck
Like
school
if
if
you're
you-
going through it aimlessly, like with no direction, like if you can't foresee what's going on after those 4 years or those 8 years, and you don't see like at least some destination, I mean, it is fuck school, because you're going through it aimlessly, and it's like, what's the point? I'm just doing it because I don't know what it is I want to do right now. I don't know what it is to do next year, so it's like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna take on this aimless debt, and I'm just gonna pray, keep my fingers crossed that it's like,
Yeah.
it's gonna pay off. Essentially,
Just going through the motions, really.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. Like if you know what you want to do, it's not fuck school. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just like you said, aimlessly going through school and don't know what you want to do, don't know, take a semester off, go explore, go work,
Yeah,
whatever
work,
you want to do.
Workforce, man.
Go figure out something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's
That
a
too.
big
That too.
big indicator that'll help you realize like, oh shit, like I don't want to do this. I want to go do something more meaningful to me. And it's like the moment you take on that burden of a job that's like, just labor intensive, it's just too much. Like the hours are shitty, the people are shitty, And what I mean by that, it's not like the workload shitty. I'm talking about like the people there are zombies.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like, I don't wanna
no
be a fucking
ambition.
zombie.
It's your
They're-
environment.
They're
Yeah, your
done.
environment. You got to create an environment for yourself that's sustainable, that you realize, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I like to do, this is enjoyable, and then keep surrounding yourself around that. But don't get comfortable. So it's like kind of goes back to last week's episode. You want to get uncomfortable also because you don't want to just get, too, I guess, too established in one like little, bubble. You want to like spread out and keep moving forward essentially and keep like progressing through the levels of that, environment
Always
that you like
bettering
find yourself
Yeah.
comfortable in. Yeah, like bettering yourself.
Because any opportunity you have, any job you have, you're gonna have the option of moving up.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about what you envision yourself doing. So, I mean, I kind of say different because if somebody wants to be a mechanic and they love it, I think staying in that bubble is kind of good for them because I mean, if you enjoy it, if you enjoy doing it, and you genuinely enjoy it, like
No, I agree with that. I agree with you. Like you should, if you like, for example, like if you enjoy being a mechanic, like you enjoy being around cars, stay around cars.
Yeah.
Go find the best mechanic in town, work with him, learn from him, do what you got to do to become, a good mechanic.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you shouldn't become complacent on whatever it is you do. Like, yeah, I'm going to go become a mechanic, but don't just let that slowly become a downhill, Like, I'm just going to be a mechanic, and then
Be the
slowly it
best
becomes,
mechanic.
like, I'm just going to be, a routine mechanic. And then eventually that transcends into, like, what I was trying to say, becoming a zombie.
Yeah.
It's like you should always keep trying to better yourself and progress and grow regardless of what it is you do. But I feel like that's the next step.
Master your craft.
Yeah, I feel like that's the next step after you find out what it is you actually want to do. So like I feel like that's the hard part right there, where people don't like really understand what it is they want to do, what their goal in life is. And I feel like a lot of people are spread out, across too many things. Like I like soccer, I like cars, I like this, I like that, I like and it keeps going on and on and on because they're scared to commit to one thing.
Find what you
It's
love.
better to be a master at one thing than being
A jack of all trades.
yeah,
Master of
because
none.
you're a master of none. I think if you have one thing that you like doing, go into it. But back to the school thing, if that thing you like doing doesn't require school, don't go to school.
Don't
You
even
shouldn't
worry
do
about
that.
school. Yeah.
What's one thing like you believe in is a problem with school, like going to school?
Curriculum. I mean, you got to look at it. Some schools are going to offer you the same thing. Like the fundamentals are the same. Like accounting, you're going to learn the same thing at this school as you are at that school. Now, obviously, there's going to be, a professor there that's just going to change your life and it's going to offer some perspective on accounting that's just going to blow your mind, But the thing is, essentially, the fundamentals are the same from across the board if you look at it, like in anything. But then there comes like the luxurious parts of that, like curriculum, the things that you just can't be taught because it's like some people are just so much wiser, more experienced, so that's why they're teaching at these higher,
Universities.
yeah, higher university. But it's like if you're here, man, you shouldn't be wasting your money going to the 4-year program that costs $200,000. You should go to the 4-year program that costs $30,000.
Nothing wrong with going to say a technical school or something like
Absolutely
that.
not, man.
Yeah, bro, it's a degree.
But like to not get sidetracked, like the curriculum, I feel like they kind of try to take the lazy way out of it. They don't try to like really revamp it. They just kind of tell the teacher, here's the minimum things they got to learn. Teach them that. And even by that logic, some kids are not going to learn that minimum. That's the minimum that you need to teach them.
I think school puts it in front of you. See, I agree with your accounting major. You take accounting classes. You're not gonna learn everything in it.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to work and you're gonna learn more shit. You're gonna be trained. But I think the problem with college is like the other classes. Like not like, for example, I'm an engineer. I go to engineering school at Western, and I think the problem is it's not the engineering classes because you go in and you learn what you need to learn. I mean, you get your
That's
feet
stuff that
wet.
interests you.
Yeah, and you get your feet wet into the real world. But I think the problem is like music class. Why not change the general education classes with something like how to fill out a checkbook,
like taxes,
how to do taxes, how to get a car loan, how to get a mortgage.
how to save money.
'Cause
Like
you learn general education up until college, and then you gotta relearn it again, and it's just like, dude, why am I doing this again?
And sometimes it's honestly even simpler stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're not even taking high school level stuff. Like I went into first year of college. I remember, dude. I went into a math class that was a requirement, and I went in there, dude, and I thought it was a joke. Like I was like, "This is it." I'm like, "This is it." Dude, I passed that class with a 98.
Yeah.
I literally was laughing. Like I'm like, dude, this college thing, bro, this is a joke. Like I'm about to get 5 degrees. This is what it is. And I'm like, 2 years pass by, I'm taking my major classes, and I'm just like, like, what the hell is that, dude? Like, what the fuck did I learn from that? Where we're taking damn pre-algebra, essentially. Like, what's 2A equals 2? And then it's like, people are over here confused, bro. I'm talking about they're, like, sweating behind me. Like, damn, this damn A, bro. This A, man. It has no place in this equation.
They drop it out right there.
Dropping out right there. Like, I'm going to skip next class, dog.
I think people that's one thing that's hard about college is how do they place you and another person in different classes? You know what I mean? Because like for you that's easy as shit, but you have somebody over here that is struggling with 3 times 7. So like that's kind of something that I think is harder to fix.
I think that's a lose-lose. Like, no, not necessarily a lose-lose, because you're taking someone that's way above the bar, and you're making them settle
Yeah.
for a lot less, and you're not challenging them. It's like if you're not being challenged, you're not going to change.
You lose
So it's
interest,
like
too.
even if you're not being challenged at that extent, the gap is so big that I feel like it's going to regress. Like you're going to become like more, not necessarily dumb, but you're just going to become like more autopilot, if that makes sense, mentally. You're just going to kind of like cruise
Uninterested,
through it.
yeah.
And then you kind of have to take that same energy into that next class, and like maybe that next class is intense. And it's like you kind of have that same energy going into this next class, and it's just like, you know, now I'm really being challenged, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know, like I'm not really in that mentality to like be over here doing crazy physics problems with the professor that doesn't want to teach me anything, bro.
You want to say his name?
No. I'm gonna let Neon say his name if he's ever on the episode, bro.
But I think but college is similar to life in that aspect, because sometimes you have to take one job that all right, like you want to be fucking the general manager. You can't just hop into that position. That's the same thing with class. Like they can't just put you in calculus 1 like straight off the rip, because you have to be tested. But there's no way to be tested unless they put you in this easy class and they see you got a 90, 98 or whatever. So like that's kind of the same thing with work in my opinion. But one thing we want to talk about also is, the guy said in the comment, was tips for college. So like we've been through college. Then he's been a semester.
Yeah.
But
He's rode that wave.
I'm graduating December.
Temporarily.
Zaid's graduating next semester, inshallah. But yeah. So what's one tip you'd give? Because I got a good one.
One tip that I would give yours, and then I'll.
The
Jump
tip
on
I
that.
would give is, if you're going to college because you truly want to be whatever you're going for, is when you're in class in those general ed's kind of not so much, but when you're in those core classes, I feel like you should invest more time into it, because you're going through it once. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you take heat transfer class. I'm guilty of it. Is I just go through and I kind of memorize what I need to know just to pass the test. But I feel like if I went back through college again and started over, I would try to learn everything more thoroughly.
You actually apply yourself.
Yeah, like apply myself into class, because you're gonna leave college with some value, that's because you paid thousands of dollars to get a degree. So like right now I'm leaving college, and I'll say it, I'm leaving college with just a few things I've picked up. Like it's not everything. So
Well, we're lucky because like we're leaving without a massive loan.
Yeah,
if any
that
loan.
too.
Like we're lucky our parents, because we're like foreigners. You know, they grinded, they hustled, and they just paid it.
Yeah.
You know, they saved and
That's
paid
true.
it. Whereas a lot of kids, man, especially in America, it was just like, you know, you go to college, you take on that debt. So one thing I would say is, like he said, time management. Realize that everything you're doing here has some return on it, some return on the investment. Whether that be I'm going to fuck around and not do anything in this class, it's going to have a return on it. It's going to be a negative one, but it's going to have a return on it. So it's like, understand that there is an end, essentially, and you should keep that end in mind. And back to what I was saying, I guess the one tip I would say is time management, like he said. Time management, understand that your time is precious, it's temporary, and you're not going to be here forever. So it's like, go get fucked up for a couple semesters, but realize you're going to have to put in the fucking grind, essentially and eventually, and it's going to come back on you one way or another.
Yeah. I've actually got two tips. The first one is, don't rush into college. Like we said, find out what you want to do first. It's never too late to go back. It doesn't matter if you go back at 23 or 27, 30.
so you may even get a job that pays
Yeah.
for you to go back.
Yeah.
Go experience some life, man. Find out what you love. Find what makes you happy. And then if it requires school, go to that. Another thing is financial-wise. Financial-wise, it's like, if you don't have the money, there's ways that you can get your college paid for. Like, you can finesse the system.
Bro,
You don't have
if
to
you work
take
at
on the
McDonald's,
debt.
they'll pay for one
Yeah.
semester like $3,000 or some shit.
And
Like,
don't let like lack of finances stop you from going to college. Like,
Oh, yeah.
read into it. There's always ways to get your college paid for.
but please don't go to college and get a $50,000
Yeah, loan.
debt, and and get a business management degree. Like, straight up honest, 100%. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat that shit. Like, seriously, dead ass. Don't go to college and get some bullshit ass degree.
You
Like,
can move up into workforce and be a fucking business manager.
I mean, if you want to do business,
owner, man,
every entrepreneur is
self-taught.
Yeah, it's self-taught. You can go on YouTube and learn
Yeah.
how to start anything.
I mean, think about it, how many millionaires, billionaires could say I'm a millionaire or billionaire because of this degree? Like 100% this degree. It's not that. If there's one thing I'd say, it's like kind of what you were saying, like being financially smart. I think the biggest lesson that you should take away from college is if you're going away to college or if you're paying your own college, dude, financial literacy. Some people are so dumb when it comes to money, and they're so clueless.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we're all are. We're guilty to some extent.
Yeah.
Like some are a lot better than others. Some learn a little bit later than others. But it's like, learn how to make money and how to keep it. Like a lot of people, you'll see, man. Like the most, like 100% honest truth that I ever heard was, the more you make, the more you spend.
Hell yeah,
That's so true.
So it's like,
That's
it's
so
cool,
true.
bro. I know a lot of guys that are making, dude, thousands of dollars a week, and it's like you would never guess it. Why? Because they look like fucking idiots. They take their money, bro, and they just splurge.
But I know people that make $45,000 a year, and they got more money saved up, like actual money, and more investments, more.
And they look rich.
Yeah, and they compared to somebody who makes, like you said, I know people making $2,000-$3,000 a week, and they ain't got $500 in their bank account.
They're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, and it's like the secret is trying to be like take that dude's mentality that's making the less money, but he's smart with it, and put him in that situation that's making the more money. So it's like, what do you get when you have that? It's like this motherfucker's living life.
Yeah,
he's living a nice life. Like someone that I could say is like, look at Taz. Like Taz, literally, like you would never you look at his truck and you never say this dude is mega millionaire, dude. Yeah. And it's like humility, dude. Humility, spending your money wisely, understanding that this money can grow for you. Versus, I'm just gonna go grind out 40 hours. Let me see how many hours that is. Or I'm expecting $500 on this paycheck if I pick up overtime. It's time and a half. Oh shit, that's complex math, bro. I don't know how to do all that. Yeah. And it's like I'll just see what it is. And it's like you're never gonna make money or make wealth essentially if you just spend all your time trying to work, trying to go find a 9 to 5, whether that be with a college degree or not. But yeah, that's kind of like my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and then. One more thing on this is he mentioned about landing a job after college. My thing about that, my 2 cents is while you're in college, of course everybody after college is trying to land a job. Yeah. But I think the main thing about college is building your resume. So while you're in college, even if it's your freshman year, if you actually want to do that, I think whatever it is, go get internships. So do internships, whether it be paid or not paid. I mean, if you have the financial backing that you can do unpaid internships and this and that, do it and get involved in as many like groups and activities and all that shit while you're in college, because when employers look back at that, it's good for them.
Yeah, they
like
think you're interested.
Yeah, like when I'm applying for jobs right now, and the main thing is like I have a buddy that he doesn't have any internships. He graduated last spring, and I've got more job offers than he does already. Yeah. So he's been out of college
several months,
half a year, and he can't find a job. But I think the main thing is I got 2 internships under my belt, and he doesn't have any. Which he got a job he got a job starting January 1st in 2020. Yeah. But see how long it took.
Yeah, compared to you.
And then I also have more knowledge. Like if you do internships, you have more knowledge of what the work is like. So you're not gonna be like after college, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I'm so nervous getting into this job. You're gonna be like, it's just another. But you're basically moving on.
It's like that same place I was just at like last
just
semester
a different
when I
name
was like doing my internship.
Experience is the best teacher. That's like you said, get involved, find internships. My big thing is network with people in college, 100%. Because you never know who you can meet, man. You never know who's connected to who.
You don't know who you're sitting next to. That's a funny story. Yeah. Like, I literally met a kid next to me last semester. If he sees this, he knows who he is. Who he is. Swear to God, never talked to him. I had like a year and a half of classes with this dude. Never talked to him, never engaged with anything. Little did I know, this kid is so much like me, dude. This kid has already a house. He's like 22, 21 years old, bro. He's already bought a house. He's already flipped it, making money on that. He owns retail property, bro. He owns one of the offices in that retail property, and it's basically paid off because the other tenants that are doing their business, they're paying it off as well. So he's already doing his business, bro. If it's a good month, a bad month, it doesn't matter because the bill isn't like coming to him. It's being paid off by someone else. So everything is just net.
All
net.
money in, no money out.
That's and it's like this kid, dude. If I would have never just talked to him, just randomly asked him, "Yo, what's up, man? You know, like, what did she say we got to do on this one? Blah 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 blah." He saw me reading a book one day, and that's kind of like what sparked it. He was just telling me, he's like, "Oh, bro, I read that book, blah 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 blah," and like from right there, network, like just like that.
Yeah.
And another thing is, getting a job after college. You can literally go to the employer, wherever it is you want to go. Just say, "I will work for free," literally for like dumb shit. Like I will come in, do free shit. Just so I can get to know the business better, just so I can be in that environment. I don't have my degree just yet, but is there anything I can do free around the office or anything like that? People think it's funny, dude. They're like, why the fuck would I go work there for free? Do it on your spare time if you can. Do it, 2 hours a day or like on the weekend if you can. If you can't, I mean, don't stress it. I'm just saying, like, you'd be amazed, like how like people. And the thing is, like, due to the like law of reciprocation, whatever it is, like people feel inclined to give you something in return if you do something for them. Like if I open this door for you, you're not just gonna walk through it unless you're a shitty person. You're gonna be like, "Oh, thank you so much," something like that. So it's like, I'm gonna go work for this person for free, do something. And it's like you don't have to do it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, where you're gonna be in that environment. You're gonna have to say hi to someone. You're gonna have to ask a question somewhere, and they're gonna have to see your face, and it's gonna become a familiar face. Yeah. So it's like, if you do get in there like that, and it's like you're doing shit around the job, you're maybe not doing the job that you're going to be doing with that degree, but you're doing something around there, like, tending to the office. Doing
it's going to open up new doors.
It's going to open
get your
something
foot in the door.
up, just putting your foot in there, dude. Like, it doesn't even have to be an extreme. It just has to be a little tiny inch of the door being open.
Somebody could ask you something.
Yeah, they're going to ask you something. It's like, "Oh, do you know how to do this?" "Oh, I'm sorry, I actually just work here. I do, like, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, from there on, it's like...
And a funny story about that is, right now, I thought, like, you go to Google, type in hiring, engineering jobs, whatever, and you apply, and that's it. That's another problem that people have, is they think when they apply, that's it. Like, that's it, nothing else. They're going to contact you.
You got to be annoying.
I actually got an offer that I interviewed with I was annoying. Yeah. So, like, I applied, and then 2 days later, I'm sending a thank you letter, like, just saying, "Hey, thank you for having this job out there. Like, what can I do?" And they didn't reply. So, again, I sent them another one. I was like,
copy and paste this bad boy. He's going to say,
"Hey, it's me again.
Hey, what's up? It's me again. I don't know if you got my last one, but
I see this job still up."
There's a lot of gratitude
seriously.
right
Like,
here.
dude, you have to be annoying. You really do.
No, like, I sent like a week later, I sent an email back. I was like, "Hey, maybe this job is taken. Like, I know this." I didn't say it just like this, but I put it in a more formal way. I was like, "Hey, maybe this job is taken, but this job sparks my interest, and I want to look forward to it in the future if it opens up again. What don't you like about me, and what didn't you like about my resume that somebody else has?" I sent that email. Yeah. And what they replied back, like it was a Friday when I sent that. Monday, they replied around lunchtime. They said, "Hey, what time can we schedule a phone interview?" And I was like, "Shit, this is all it takes." Because, like, they want to...
That's when you tapped out that thank you.
Hell yeah. I was like, thank
you for accepting my 30 email.
Yeah. They know I got a podcast, so they're probably going to watch this too. So, but that's cool.
You got to be consistent too, man.
Yeah.
Consistency is key in anything.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But also landing a job, I think I'm fortunate enough where there's a lot of jobs open. But seriously, like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. If you have some point, let me not say pointless, because it might mean something. If you have a low demand, like, degree, like, I don't want to name no damn degrees because people might get offended. But if you have,
if you offend some art,
if you have an art or a fucking business management or a dance or something like that, there isn't no jobs for. Don't expect. Be honest with yourself and don't expect a job to land right after college because it's very, very rare. So, like, be real with yourself.
You're right.
Be real with yourself.
You should understand your environment. You should understand, like, okay, I'm living in Bowling Green. What are the job opportunities in this like regard? I knew when I went into accounting, I loved accounting just because like I got really into stocks.
Yeah.
And I knew, dude, once I get a job in accounting, I'm fine. Job security. My sister's an accountant. She's like opened all the doors. She showed me all the places that I could apply to, all the different like places that I could work as an accountant. Not even being an accountant, just because I'm an accountant, it's like the top tier of like the business like world essentially, over the business degree, and it's like everything like trickles down. It's like from accounting, it's like I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, and it's just a necessary job. You know, there's a lot of demand for it, but it's like you said, if there's no demand, don't be delusional just to make yourself feel good about yourself. You know, like I'm not wasting my time. You should be honest with yourself. Say like, in the meantime, while I'm doing this degree that's pointless, let me go pick up some hobbies, you know, and some skills that are going to be, you know, real world, you know, valuable.
So landing a job after college, it's pretty easy if you go for a degree that has
value.
Like computer science, man. That job, those jobs are gonna blow in the next 3-4 years. So if you're getting into college now and you like tech shit, I wouldn't even say being an engineer. I'd say go to computer science, because you just got to research what jobs are going to pop, what jobs, because you have jobs that are going to disappear. You have some jobs where technology is taking over. So, I mean, like electrical engineering, that's a really good job. Mechanical engineering, mechanics are always going to be a part of this world, no matter how advanced it gets.
We need mechanics right now.
I mean, mechanical engineers.
Bro,
so
that's
like,
why I stress,
that's like movement of the arms, movement of shit.
Dude, that's why I stress like these younger kids who like don't want to go to college. I'm like, dude, go learn how to do that diesel mechanic shit, bro. Like, why not?
Bro, it's
needed. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. No, it's not easy, dog. It's work. It's work. Period.
Oh, be a diesel mechanic in Bowling Green. You'll be making more money than everybody.
Making money.
Especially if you're good at it, bro. If you're
and you won't even be worried about finding a job. Yeah. The job's gonna find you. Trust me.
Everybody's gonna want you.
They're gonna be calling you up. You haven't even graduated. They'll be talking about when can you start. Like, hold up, dog. I'm in the intro level classes. Yeah. They don't even taught me how to shift this damn 10-speed.
We've covered a lot of things in this in episode 2. We even sidetracked off of college, kind of went to finances and all that.
But it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I think so. And I appreciate y'all watching.
Tell them who joined us.
This is Zyko P.
Zyko P.
Special guest.
The best architect in the world next year.
Not necessarily the world, but metaphorically.
But if you like this type of content, just like and subscribe. Tune into our Sunday podcast. We have podcasts with guests. And yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. If you want to hear about a different topic, it can be basketball, it can be who's rappers, it can be
how this table is made.
Yeah, because this table is made from ground up. How we started the podcast. Just comment down below. We'll do it. This topic right here was actually recommended from the previous video.
Anonymous on our